I wanted to talk a little bit about public school today. In our free college video, we talked a little bit about public schooling, and I feel like that theme needed to be expounded upon a little bit more. Um, there's a reason, unfortunately, that the American education system isn't currently one of the best in the world. There's a lot of reasons for it. I do know one of the things that we can do if we're going to fund college, if we're going to talk about free college or socialized college, we should reverse some of these budget cuts. Um, Growing up, I was constantly told, "Hey, get good grades, go to college." It was always tied to these financial goals of, go to college so you can make money, get a job, have a house, all these target object oriented sort of things. Um, and for me, that whole college experience, it's more than the education experience from kindergarten all the way through. It's more than just this goal oriented end. And so if we're going to fund part of it, we should fund all of it. We should start with the beginning and make it so that people can get the full education. Because right now we have entire states that are at the bottom of our list, and we are not, as a whole nation, at the top. So they're the worst. We can't expect that the kids in those states are going to go forward and have a great education when their schools are underfunded, their teachers are underpaid, they live in poor neighborhoods, they're underfed, they have basically no access to essential needs. It's no surprise they don't do well in school. Martha Nussbaum, an author that Tony introduced me here to, actually makes an excellent point that as a culture, our goals are wrong. We look at education as a business thing, as a go to college, get a car, fulfill this goal. I think we need to shift our focus back to become a good person, get education to improve who you are, to expand yourself. If we can become good people become good citizens, and that improves everything for everybody. And right now, that just can't happen. A lot of our public schools don't have the funding, they don't have the supplies, they don't have good quality teachers. The system has become very hostile overall. The bureaucracies have become overloaded, and we can correct that as a starter by reversing budget cuts, by funding it. We can also then look at helping the students themselves, increasing their access to basic things like food, funding welfare programs that help students, especially those of lower economic status who typically underperform compared to their white compatriots or their other, higher class compatriots, or however you want to do the breakdown, because usually it's unfortunately that the race is also lower on a lot of those scales. Um, all in all, I just think we have the ability finally as a society that we can move this forward. We can have a good education. We can bring up the lowest among us. And I think it's about time. How do you feel about all this? I've kind of wandered here.
Um,
I
I think
said
the
a
only
lot.
thing that I'll add is that one of the big crises that's not talked about almost at all is the cafeteria lunch debt in elementary schools, and it's one of these issues that we have enough money, we could just fix it immediately. It could be just written off as a cost, a national cost, and we would just pay off all this debt, and no average person would ever notice the difference. Um, Another problem is we don't actually view education or intellectual capacity as a virtue that our enemies or our allies will see as indicating strength, and so that's part of the reason that we're seeing this turn from intellectualism in general by huge swaths of the American populace. And that's not a problem that's easily fixed, and probably one that we should save for another video. But suffice it to say, if we want to actually be a world leader, we have to start caring about infrastructure, education, welfare programs, healthcare. These issues we have to take steps forward on those key issues, or we're going to be fucked.